and the Three Bears. The story might not be as you remember, but it was rewritten by me. Once upon a time, there was a story about the three little bears. There was Papa Bear, who was a very strong bear. Brown Papa. There was Mama Bear, who was a Miss Dainty. And there was Baby Bear, the smallest bear of all. They lived in a small house far in the deep forest. One morning as the bear family awoke, they decided to go for a walk. But before they decided to go for a walk, Mama Bear thought that she would make porridge so they would have something to eat when they come back. So she made a bowl for Papa Bear, one for herself, and one for the smallest of all, Baby Bear. After Mama was done, they went for a walk in the forest. Went for a walk. Okay. My glasses, I'm sorry. Okay. All left for a walk. As the bear family left for a walk, early that morning there was a little girl by the name of Goldie Locks. She also went for a walk in the forest. Goldie Locks was known for her long, beautiful gold hair and her pretty locks of curls. Goldilocks was curious. She saw a pretty red house sitting in the middle of the woods, and she decided to knock on the door to see if anyone was at home. No one was home. No one answered. So she decided to go inside anyways. When Goldilocks got inside, she discovered a bowl of porridge sitting on the table. And as she looked further, she saw 3 bowls of porridge. She was so hungry from playing in the woods, she decided to try the bowl of porridge. First, she decided to try Papa Bear's bowl. And she said it was too hot for her. So she tried the next bowl of porridge, which was Mother's, and she said it was way too cold for her. And she tried the smallest bowl of all, which was Baby Bear's bowl, and she said it was just right, she said. And guess what she did? She ate it all up. So next, she decided she was so tired from playing in the forest, so she decided to have a rest in the living room in the chairs. The first chair, and the biggest of all, was Papa Bear's chair. After she sat in Papa Bear's chair, she said it was way too hard for her. So she tried Mother Bear's chair and said, that one was too soft. She just could not get comfortable. So she tried the smallest chair of all, which was Baby Bear's chair, and she said, this is just right. And she felt so comfortable and began to play around in the chair. And guess what she did? She broke it. She broke the chair. And she was so sad because she broke it. But she was also tired from playing so long. So she decided to go upstairs into the 3 bears' bedroom. And she was so tired, so the first bed she saw was Papa Bear's bed. And she laid on it and said, she said, oh no, this bed is too hard for me. She laid on Mama Bear's bed and she said, way too soft. The last bed she decided to lay on, the tiniest bed of all, was Baby Bear's bed. And she said, this is just right. And guess what she did? Does anybody know? She fell asleep. So the 3 bears returned from their walk, and they were so hungry. So they went to the kitchen and decided to go ahead and have their lunch. So Papa Bear tasted his porridge, and he said, "Somebody's been eating in my porridge," is what he said. And Mama Bear tried her porridge and said, "Somebody's been eating my porridge." And the tiniest bowl of all, Baby Bear looked down in her bowl, and she said, and Baby Bear said with a loud voice, and they ate all of her porridge, and she was so sad. So they were so tired after they had lunch. The Baby Bear didn't get any. So they decided to go for a rest in the living room, to sit in their chairs. Papa Bear sat down in his chair, and he just couldn't get comfortable. And he said, "Somebody's been sitting in my seat." So Mama Bear sat in her seat and said, "Somebody's been sitting in my seat too." Baby Bear, the smallest bear of all, looked at her chair and she said, and they broke all the pieces. Again, she was so sad. So last thing that they did, they went to the bedroom because they needed a rest by now. And Papa Bear said, after he sat on his bed, Papa Bear said, "Somebody's been sitting in my bed," and he wasn't happy about that. So Mama Bear decided to sit on her bed and said, "Somebody's been sitting on my bed." The tiniest bear of all said, and there she is! Goldie Locks was startled from all the noise, and she ran off and ran away as fast as she could, and she was never seen or heard of again. And that's the story of the three